What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Summer Game Fest 2021. It's returning. It's back. It's hopefully better than ever, right? Doing it a little bit better in year 2 than year 1. But I want to talk about it. There's not too much info, so I want to talk about the info we have, but then I want to kind of steer the discussion as can it be or will it be better than last year's, expectations for it, all that good stuff, okay? And as we get closer, like as May approaches, for E3, all this stuff. I mean, I'm going to be doing, obviously, loads of predictions videos and discussion videos about what could be there, what couldn't be there. So this is more like a blanket thing, and generally just talking about, do I think it'll be better? Okay, and then we can talk about specific predictions, as the weeks and the months go on, okay? Now, really quickly, before I jump into it too much, make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. We've slowed down in terms of subscribers, but, I mean, we're getting very close to 50K, so I'm going to be pushing that very, very soon. So if you guys haven't subbed yet, make sure that you guys do. Also, I do have a second channel. I'm trying to get that to 3,000 subscribers over there. It's called Podcast Now Plus. Links in the description below. And, of course, make sure you guys are always following me over on Twitter. We hit that 2,000 mark. Now I'm just making sure we keep the 2,000 mark. Podcast Now 15. Link for that is also in the description below. Okay, thank you for all the support. Thank you for sticking with me and putting up with me promoting all my stuff in these videos. It's kind of what you have to do when you're on YouTube nowadays. There's really no way around it, okay? So let's talk about this. Again, there's not a lot. Basically, Summer Games Fest return. And I always say games. It's actually game. Summer Game Fest. But I talk so fast that I throw in the S there, so I'm sorry about that. Returns this June. A spectacular, concentrated, global showcase of the future of video games where everyone comes to play. Sign up now at their website for event updates and text alerts. Now, I went on it for fun, and you can RSVP for June 1st at 9 to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So maybe this literally will start like literally June 1st. Now, that's kind of what I want to talk about in this video. That's it. That's all you got. Now, you can go on the website. You can like be notified for like when they go live and all that stuff. I have always liked Geoff Keighley. Let me start off with that. I've always liked him. I know he gets a lot of flack, okay? And he deserves some of it because he does overhype quite a bit of things that he does. Who wouldn't? If you're Geoff Keighley and you're doing the Game Awards and you're doing Gamescom, of course you're going to make it sound good. I mean, that's just like, is it right? Probably not. But is it something he does and it's something that I would probably do and I think a lot of people would do? Yes. You know what I mean? So, and by the way, I think he's insanely passionate, smart. He's a very smart guy on the gaming industry, okay? I was in those Zoom calls with, now, not just him to me. I would love to do that someday, but, me and obviously a group of people. I did the Zoom calls with him back leading into the Game Awards, and I mean, he is just a really smart guy, and he's very passionate. People always go after him for, like, that he's making Game Awards a corporate kind of show with all these ads and all these kind of, like, sponsors. I mean, like, he does do that, but I really sense an amazing passion from this guy in terms of games. He loves games. He loves all kinds of games. He loves the future of games. He really does. And that's you can tell that from listening to him talk for like 20 minutes. You can tell how smart and passionate he is. So I'm not like kissing up to him, by the way, because I've criticized the Game Awards. I've criticized Gamescom. I don't think I criticize them as much as other people do, but I've definitely made videos talking about how certain things are disappointing. Okay, so it's not like I'm just bowing to his feet. I respect the guy. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. I respect him. I don't think he does it perfectly every time. I don't think he ever actually has done it perfectly, but I do respect him. So what does all that mean? Well, last year's Summer Game Fest, I said it right that time, was not very good. It was designed. Now, the premise, I think like the love behind it from him was there. I think like he actually was trying to do something. Remember, last year, everything, like the world was burning. In fact, over the summer in the U.S., things literally were burning, okay? And I'll leave it there for now because YouTube will take this video down. But, he tried to kind of unite people when E3 was not going to happen. Publishers just flat out didn't know what to do. They could have done their own shows last summer. Now, some did. EA did. Ubisoft did. Sony did that State of Play in June and then September. Microsoft did in May and July, I think, or maybe August. Was it May and August? So, like, you had some of them go, but a lot of them were pretty bad. Ubisoft's was okay. It had a couple big things, mainly nothing. EA's was god-awful, okay? Sony's was really good. Microsoft, the first one wasn't very good. The second one was. So they were kind of all over the place. So I think the premise behind what Geoff Keighley was trying to do, basically give a platform to publishers and developers to go through him to announce their stuff. I think that was really smart. Now, did it work? No, nothing really happened. They announced Tony Hawk, okay, which was solid. He hosted Gamescom, which I actually thought Gamescom was pretty okay. Again, if you set your expectations high, I don't think it was very okay. But if you were like, there's going to be some big things, there'll be things that just flat out aren't for me, that's pretty much what Gamescom was, okay? But the idea of what Summer Game Fest was last year completely fell apart after the first, month because he stretched it for June, July, August, and it became kind of like a hosting platform where it's like, okay, they're going to live stream Sony's State of Play, but it's like, but it's not through you. You know what I mean? You're kind of just using, or you're kind of like the publisher of it, but you have nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? So it became kind of weird. Now, take that to this year. I think this year is going to be a lot better. He's made it very clear, and I think he knows the mistakes that was made last year. He said it out loud, so I know that as well. He's only making it 1 month. So Summer Game Fest this year is literally just this June. What's interesting is it will also be in June, E3. E3's digital stuff for, I think, 2 to 3 days. They are going to do stuff. And we also know from Jeff Grubb, right? He's talked about, and he's a very good insider, he's talked about how a lot of publishers are going rogue. They're going to do their own stuff throughout the summer, probably much better than they did last year. So we will have those EA, the Ubisoft, maybe Square Enix, and Square Enix has done some stuff, right? They just did it for Life is Strange. Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, and there's many, many more. They're going to do their own thing. They're not even going to rely on E3. So again, I think that is good, and I think Summer Game Fest can kind of be that middle tier where it's like, okay, you're probably not going to get big things from the big publishers to go through you, but if you're a middle tier publisher or developer, if you're self-publishing, you can probably go through Geoff Keighley. So I expect this Summer Game Fest to be a lot better than last year, if only for the simple fact that it's a third of the time, okay? Because if you do it for 3 months and there's just all of this dead time in between it and nothing's happening, and then you announce Tony Hawk, but you go away for 2 to 3 weeks, then it's like, okay, nothing's going on. And it doesn't really seem like this is a festival. It seems like this is like a one-off kind of show, and then they move and they don't come back for like a while, and they do return. So I mean, that's kind of what it was last year. This year, I think he could probably fill, I don't know if it would be every day, and I don't think it will be every day, but I think if you had a couple of announcements, 2 to 3 announcements every week for 4 weeks in June, I think that would be very, very solid. Again, it may not be the biggest things in the world, so I'm excited. I'm going to cover it. I'm going to predict it, all that good stuff. I can't wait. But I also do feel like I have my expectations at a pretty solid place where it's like, if he announces nothing, like just not big things, to me, it won't matter all that much because he's still trying. Okay, he would be failing again, but he's still trying. E3 is still happening. You have all these publishers doing their own things. This summer is going to be packed. I know we've had a horrible, I don't even know what other words to use, horrible 3 months of the year. There were a couple games that's come out, but not many. There's been more delays of big games than big games releasing so far this year, which is bad. But I do think this summer is going to be kind of that turnaround period where we're going to get a lot of announcements. We're going to get a lot of like second and third looks at stuff, and we'll probably get closer to these big games actually releasing in the fall and then going into next year. So I'm excited. I mean, I know that last part was kind of talking about more than just Summer Game Fest, but I'm excited. I'm not expecting much, but I think that he can actually pull it off and do some pretty cool things there. So I'm ready because, again, like, it's been so slow. It's been so slow. And then from like a personal standpoint, if you guys care about my personal status or like financial status, I mean, yeah, these past couple months have been rough on a lot of people on YouTube because there's just flat out not much. There has been stuff, Justice League, things like that. There's been stuff, but just not a lot. So I'm excited for it to turn around. I think late April going into May, there's going to be loads of games coming out, Returnal, Mass Effect, Resident Evil. So, like, it's going to turn around. We just have to wait just a little bit longer for this dead period to go away, okay? Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Did you hate last year? Did you like last year? What do you think about Geoff Keighley? All that good stuff. Let me know in the comments. Make sure, again, the subscribing, bell icon, that obviously those are the most important. Second channel, Twitter, all that stuff is in the description below. I'd love to have you guys over there as well. Again, one more time, really appreciate all of you guys' support. I hope to see you all on the next video.